The FBIS podcast with Melissa and Tanisha. Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a good. I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited. No, I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Peyton. Not today. I value my precious. They're the cream, and the coffee is life. Life. You bring cream to my life. I'm not sure. Once a week for an hour.
Oh, hello there.
Howdy. How's it going?
Good. You look nice and hydrated. The skin is glowing as usual.
Got my gray showing, but it is what it is.
I have 2 grays now, Frida Kahlo. But
Anyway,
how's your day? How's your cough?
still got the cough, but it's all good.
These allergies are ridiculous.
Yep.
Man, so this week I want to get into the new Queen of Petty. Now, it is my opinion that the OG Queen of Petty is Mariah Carey. I think there's a few others, right? I think Mariah Carey, the I Don't Know Her, is iconic and classic. That'll never go away. We have some honorable mentions up there, but something happened, and I think I might have to pass the crown. But I think it's a fleeting moment because I feel like this person, I don't know if she can sustain it. Okay, you tell me if you think I'm crazy. So it is alleged that Jennifer Lopez is dating Ben Affleck again.
Right.
Now, I'm holding the opinion at the moment that A-Rod just did something really messed up for her to go from like, we're better as friends and I'm going to date this dude again.
And they have businesses together, supposedly.
Yes. I feel like she was in it. She was looking to build things together.
Well, if you're engaged, then you're in it.
No, yeah. No, but I feel like for her, I mean, let's be real. She's been engaged a few times, married a few, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe in divorce. But
talk about Queen of Petty.
Who?
You. That was very actually, that was shady. We should say Queen of Shady.
Shady. Yeah, that was shady. I didn't mean it to be shady though, but she has a moments of caution, and for her to but she really held him to a high standard. It is my personal opinion that I think he might have did something dirty, and she's turning around and making him eat crow. For you to be dating somebody and it's all everywhere and everybody keeps shoving it in your face. Oh my God.
But it doesn't matter who it was that she chose, because that's just her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every person that she breaks up with and then gets a new person, it's all over the news.
But this fast?
No, it's usually not this fast.
That's why I'm saying it's the Queen of Petty, because she's just like, all right, dude. Like,
but could they have been speaking? Could they have been like having conversations all along? There's no way you just jump like that.
Oh.
I mean, he said something nice about Ben Affleck said something nice about her in the media, like on a podcast or something a few months ago.
That she's the hardest working person he's ever. Oh, and, yeah.
She dealt with racist comments and stuff like that, because Boston is probably one of the most low key. It's probably the biggest racist state city, but we'll just say Massachusetts city in the Northeast.
They're like high key, low key racist.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he's like, Ben Affleck is Boston. So you're gonna be dating a Puerto Rican? I can only imagine the comments that were spewed, and for him to be defending her all these years later, 17
years later.
Oh, did they stop speaking the whole time? Is she like friends with all her exes? I think she is.
Oh my gosh. I never thought about that.
Because I remember in the beginning of the pandemic, Diddy, who wants to be known as Love, but he's still Puff Daddy to me. He did. You remember in the beginning of the pandemic, all these people were doing like these Instagram, for charities,
Right.
and so he did one of those things where it's like a marathon, like on for 24 hours of IG, and Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod came on there. Remember that? And she was like
You have the
dancing.
best memory.
She was like salsa dancing, and Diddy's salsa dancing, but they're like on opposite IGs. I'm like, this is so weird. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yes,
she keeps in touch with her exes. So if Ben Affleck if she got his new number, there's no new phone who this for him, then
I did not think of that. I did not even think of that, because I remember a long time ago, I don't even know a reference to what, where Puffy was talking about her, and he was just like, that was how many husbands ago? Like it just made it seem like I never even thought that they'd be friends.
I don't even remember him saying that.
It was something about
every time he's always talking about, he's like, she's the one that got away. She,
I thought Kim Porter was the one that got away. My God.
Well, that was before she died. Then, it was
Yeah.
Kim Porter.
Yeah.
And, it's also Cassie.
Poor Cassie.
Not poor Cassie. She got 2 kids and a husband, please. Poor Cassie.
Poor Cassie nothing, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, man. I know. Sorry. That was stupid.
Don't feed into that, stereotype with women, poor women.
What do you mean?
Like whenever like a relationship breaks up, like
no.
Is like, oh,
no.
I hope she finds someone.
No. I was thinking in terms of, how it always seemed like he kind of like strung her along for so long. That's what it seemed like. And he would like dip in and out of these relationships with other people. And she'd just be there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not like at the coffee table with them, but
she wised up,
Yeah, that's what I meant by poor Cassie. Like the way but
this camera, like,
what?
Anyway. No, because I'm using the Zoom background, my hair looks funky, but it is what it is.
Oh, so does mine. Like it's yeah.
Anyway.
But I always look like I slept in the bushes, so whatever. So can you think of, because you have such a good memory, man. Can you think of any other moments of like petty queen moments?
Well, there's always, not with Jennifer Lopez. I don't really, I can't.
She's not quick-witted.
But there's always like petty, like one of the petty things that comes to mind is Eddie Murphy, because men can be petty too. And so remember when he was nominated for an Oscar for Dreamgirls?
Yeah.
So he said they announced the category, and I think it was like in the beginning of the telecast. Usually they do like supporting actor, like it's like the first one, something like that. I don't remember. It was early on in the telecast. Right. And at the time he was dating Tracy Edmonds, the ex-wife of Babyface, who is now she's with the former football player Deion Sanders. Anyway, at the time she was dating Eddie Murphy. Tracy Edmonds, right? I think she did like E.T. or one of those 7 p.m. talk shows. I don't know if she still does it, and she's also a producer, Soul Food, and anyway. So they set his category. He did not win, and then the camera caught him taking her by the hand and then leaving. That was it. He just left. He was like, "All right, my category's over," and he bounced.
That's amazing. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like men can be petty too, and it's like, I love it. One of the other ones too. This is from years and years ago. Back when the music, like the Grammys and American Music Awards and those kind of shows, back in the day. Do you remember how like at the end it would be like a gospel medley, and then they'd be like, come up on stage. They'd bring everybody up on stage and they'd sing. So one year, Diana Ross, I think she was hosting or like American Musical or something like that. So she's singing and she's got the microphone and Patti LaBelle's up there, like the divas, right?
Yeah.
And she like took the mic I believe she took the mic out of Patti LaBelle's hand and started like, reach out and touch. I was like, I wish I had the clip. I wish I had downloaded the clip so I could show everybody. But it's that level of pettiness where it's like, I am like, she was Mariah Carey before Mariah Carey was Mariah Carey. She stayed petty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
what do you do? What do you do when something like that happens?
You can't do nothing.
Nothing.
Do I look like I'm sweating? I'm like in my car. My car is hot as hell. I'm in the shade.
You look great.
I didn't want to roll the windows down, and the AC messes up my allergies. So if you hear a lot of feedback, I apologize. I had to roll my windows down because I'm like sweltering.
No, your skin looks like it's glowing. It looks really nice.
Call 911. Be like, she's parked somewhere on Long Island.
Oh Lord, can you text me where you're at? Jesus,
I don't even know.
I
just pulled over. Anyway, it's a conversation offline. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like tripping on camera. But anyway, so yeah, the pettiness is like, I love when I see that. One of the other petty, I'm like, all these petty moments are coming to me. One of my favorite petty moments is, so Mary J. Blige, right? Her and Faith Evans used to be friends, and then Faith Evans signed to Bad Boy. Right. And so Diddy tried to make Faith Evans into like Mary J. Blige Circle, What's the 411? But Faith Evans, you know, her vocal ability far surpassed Mary with her first album. You know what I mean? And some people to this, but Mary J. has a unique voice. I wouldn't say she's the best singer. She puts emotion in her songs and you just be feeling it. Faith Evans, her voice is like classic. It's a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
So anyway, Faith Evans has the album come out and she's got Mary on one of the tracks on her first album. They're doing a duet. It's called Love Don't Live Here Anymore was the name of the song, right? So then all of a sudden, like this, it came out, like second pressing, and Mary's not on there. It's a solo. So I'm like, I'm so happy I had the first printing because I have the original when they're singing it together. And so years and years later, Mary did an interview and they asked her about it. She's like, oh, I had nothing to do with that. And then Faith Evans, she did an interview and she's like, I heard Mary didn't want to be on didn't want to be on the album anymore. What? So my thing is like, to me, that's a level of pettiness where you're like kind of jealous that Puffy kind of put Faith on and made her Bad Boy. And Mary didn't work with Puffy no more for like, it was like almost a decade.
Years.
She worked with him again. And so she ain't gonna beat her up, but she can be like, you can't make no money off of me.
Yeah.
Although Faith was on Mary's My Life album singing background. So it's like very stupid, but it was so petty. But that's the beauty of pettiness because it's like passive aggressive behavior. Anyway, I could go on for days and days. What about you? What do you?
The only thing that comes to mind is Naomi. Okay, this is kind of like a failed pettiness. Do you remember when Tyra Banks used to have a talk show and she had Naomi Campbell on and she like had nobody in the audience and she's like, I didn't want anyone here. I wanted to talk first. Yeah. You got me kicked off a show. And she's like, first of all, Naomi Campbell, like if you're going to go toe to toe with Naomi Campbell, first of all, check your emotions and keep it together. And Naomi's like, it's not my show. I'm a model. That got nothing to do with me. And so you're right. We're not on that show because of me. Like you're not on that runway show, not because of me.
Right.
And then I love how, you know, that like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I love the way Naomi Campbell.
You're good at that. You do that. You do that so much. You don't do it as much, but you definitely do that a lot.
I don't recall that. But I love the way Naomi
But
apologizes.
now I'm a
when she-
liar. Now I'm a liar.
You better stop. But Naomi Campbell apologized, like something to the effect of, I'm working on it and I take responsibility for your feelings.
That is like the best response.
I'm a work in progress. That's it.
Yeah. Like, what do you say after that? You just feel like, all right. Like, you look stupid now.
That's it. You know what happened
Tyra,
to
I'm
me
talking
today?
about Tyra.
Tyra Banks. Yeah. You know what happened to me so today. So there was a there was like an issue. And I was like, you know, it was a big mistake. But I was like, I don't see how I could have made this mistake. And it was like, yeah, but it was done. I'm like, yeah, I know it was done. Clearly, I can see it right here. But I don't see how I could have made that mistake.
Right.
And then like they check back like a thread and this spreadsheet and that spreadsheet. And they're like, oh, we need to be more careful. And I was like, oh, so the mistake wasn't mine? It's like, no, it was it. And then it's like oh, okay. I was just making sure. I just wanted to make sure because there's just no way I could have made a mistake like that.
Right.
And I was like, but you know what? Checks and balances. We all make mistakes. And I walked away and everybody's looking at me like, did she just?
Exactly. So that's, yeah, it's like, what do
Did she
people say
just
to
tell me
that?
I'm stupid?
Like, what do people say to that? You can't say
Nothing.
anything because you didn't insult their mother.
No.
You didn't tell them their breath stink. You didn't tell them you got toilet paper hanging out of their pants.
I was like, I just don't see how I could have made that mistake. And it's like, but it's here. No, I know, I see it. But I
Right.
just don't see how I could have made that mistake. How could I have made a mistake that big?
Right.
And they're like, oh. So that's not where the mistake was. Like, oh, okay, just checking. Just want to make sure.
And then go from there. It is
Yeah.
what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I love those moments with people because it's like I said, pettiness is being passive aggressive in the best way.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
it's
have to crush it.
it's also one of those things that like, and your memory is just so good that you're like, wait a minute, didn't you just say 2 seconds ago, or I remember 3 weeks ago you said that wasn't really the protocol.
I only remember what I want to remember.
No,
Things
but
that
it'll be
make me feel something that I have a connection to. I have a connection to Mary and Faith because I love them. You know what I mean? I have connection to things that affect me if it's a situational thing with my friends or family, whatever, because I have it had an impact on me. But there's a lot of things that I totally do not remember. There's lots of times where you or whoever else is just like, remember, I'm like, oh, we went there, we saw that thing. Oh, that was me and you. And I have in my mind, I'm like, it was somebody else that I was there with. So it is what it is.
Oh my Lord, that's funny. I'm trying to think too. Who's the? I like Wendy Williams, obviously. I mean,
she's another queen of petty.
Oh, and but you know what though? She's also one of those like quick to be like, no, I know I just did that, but we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about them.
Right. Yeah, the thing I also like about her is that she's one of those people that will make fun of herself before you have a chance to.
1,000%, which makes it so hard to turn around and be petty with her.
Like the other day she posted her feet. And like how are you gonna make fun of her feet now? She already put it out there. Yeah, like it's like,
but she's been
not that you should make fun of her feet. Not that you should make fun of them, but it's like it's like one of those things where it's like you can't really say anything because that person has already put it out there for the public to consume. Yeah, she's already been like, I sniffed coke back in the day. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. But she's also, there's things like, who knew that her mother died? Like,
Oh, I
her mother died
know.
so
Yeah.
like months, like 3 months earlier, but
Yeah.
nobody knew. You know what I mean? So it's like the secretiveness is like on point too.
Yeah.
I mean, so she's
Yeah.
the queen of petty. She's the queen of secretiveness. She's the queen of shade. You know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think too. Remember Naomi Campbell? Remember she had to do a community service at a waste management company here in New York.
Right.
And it was like a fashion show. She slayed every time she walked into that building. There were camera clicks everywhere. I remember one time she had boots over her shoulder, like tied with the string and over her shoulder. And I'm like, and she was walking in with heels, but obviously she's going to change into these boots. And it's like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's, first of all, nobody walks better. I can't sit down as good as this bitch fucking walks, breathes, talks, everything.
She's definitely on point.
She's on point. But I remember, so Oprah's not petty or shady either, but she did the whole like, so what was a fashion show? And she's like, I was wearing my clothes. I'm in fashion.
Right. Like what do you say to that?
What do you say to that? You're like, oh shit, yeah. It's not, because remember people kept saying, no, she's making money from doing her this and that. Oh, all these designers. But she's in fashion. That's her job. She's doing this that's what she lives, breathes, and does. Like,
right.
Of course she's gonna have clothes that look amazing and boots that are.
The thing that annoyed me about that is that if it was Christy Turlington, they would have put her on the cover of Glamour from the photo shoot outside. Like it's a fucking double standard.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we ain't gonna get into race, but the fact that she was criticized so much, like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
But congratulations to her are in order.
Right.
She announced the birth of her little baby girl.
Yep.
I'm very excited for her. But I do want to, but since this is a show about being petty, I do want to talk about like people in her comments.
Okay.
Them shady ass fuckers. So rather than just giving the mazel tov that it deserves and keep it moving, do you notice how people were making mention, oh, so when was you pregnant? Doesn't mean she was pregnant. Oh, did you adopt? Doesn't mean she adopted. Did you use surrogate? Doesn't mean she used a surrogate. She's telling you that she had a little girl and that's it.
The thing about the blogs and the comments, they're always, like for me anyway, what people post is what I want to know, but I would never ask those questions. So I can't even hate, because is there any part of you that's like, oh, I wonder if the way they say it is fucked up. But you're telling me there's no part of you that's like, oh, I wonder if she did surrogacy?
Funny enough, no.
No, I think it's
not in this instance.
She's 50 years old. So to be like, okay, and I know she wasn't pregnant because she's been active on social media. She has a what do you call it? A show on YouTube where she interviews people every week. And she does exercises. So she wasn't pregnant. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's wrong to be like, did she adopt, like to shed light on adoption or surrogacy, the secrecy of, and I'm not saying she's being secretive, but if more people were open about their journey, I believe that other people, regular everyday folk, would be more accepting, more inclined, and shut the fuck up, wouldn't have to say anything.
That's interesting because so who is it? So just for this instance, I'll say that it didn't cross my mind, just this instance. But when it comes to Jennifer Lopez, there's no doubt in my mind that she did in vitro. And for her to say that twins run in Mark's family, that's not how fraternal twins work. But it bothers me that she just won't admit it. But okay. Who is the actor? I can't, for the life of me right now, I can't think of it. They always say, and their adopted kids, such and such. Instead of just saying their children. I cannot remember. It's whenever the media does that, and their adopted children. I think maybe just this instance, it didn't cross my mind because it was such, I think her post was just so like, oh my gosh, how lovely for her to have a little girl, and the way she was holding her little itty bitty chicken nuggets. It was just so cute. So I didn't, just this post I didn't, but it has crossed my mind, like when I think of like Sandra Bullock. I know she adopted, or Charlize Theron.
Well, obviously she adopted, because she don't got, the kid is like dark as me.
Yeah, that too, I guess.
You guess that's how it works. The kid doesn't look like it has a drop of white in it. So neither one of them. I think she has two. I'm thinking of someone else.
Oh,
but anyway.
No, I think, was it?
Yeah, I
think she has two kids. And then Charlize Theron has two kids, right? And they're adopted.
My point though is that, like,
be open and honest about it.
No, I'm saying with those particular ones, it's like, obviously they didn't birth those kids. Yeah. I mean, you could have birthed them without their egg. You can, yeah. But
there's so many different ways to have a baby that.
Right. But it's like, you don't, when a white person has a black baby, and not a baby that looks like they might be half or part Asian, part Hispanic, part white, whatever, or part black. But when they're like dark like me, you don't think, oh, maybe they birthed them. Even though they could have. The first thing you think is adoption.
Okay, yeah.
So with Naomi Campbell, I'm like, okay, she's 50. I don't, and I, like I say, I see her, I watch her show. So I know she didn't have a vaginal birth or a C-section, or she was not pregnant. So there's only one or two options: adoption or surrogacy. So when people are putting that stuff in the comments, the way they said it was kind of foul, but it's also what I was thinking.
Oh,
like, I wonder how she did that.
Okay.
Not that she owes us any explanation. It would be nice. The greater good, because she's a public figure.
Yeah, like Chrissy Teigen. Whenever Chrissy Teigen talks about her fertility issues, I appreciate it. She doesn't owe it to me, but I appreciate it.
See, with Chrissy Teigen, I feel like she became, like, was she a model before? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she just like showed up.
Right? Out of nowhere. She just became,
and then like she was John Legend's girlfriend, and it was like, okay. Like, not to say I didn't see her before, but she wasn't like a supermodel.
I didn't see her.
She was like a few, I think she did like a couple of print things, like background. She wasn't like a model.
She was not Naomi Campbell, Chrissy Turlington,
right.
Like those household names.
It's the equivalent of him like getting with an Instagram model, in my opinion.
Yes. So, and then she just popped up and she's everywhere.
Right. She was tweeting everything. And so with her, I just feel like it's a little different, because her whole existence is social media. And I knew she couldn't stay off Twitter, even though she announced that she was getting off of it. I'm like, yeah, okay. This is your life. Like, you don't know how to, I can't imagine. You don't know how to be not on social. People that grow up on social media don't know how to be without it. Even people that like me and you who didn't grow up with social media, can we actually ever really not be on social media? We've tried, we've gone on sabbaticals. But
sabbaticals, but not like
ever. All you need is somebody like that, one of your friends or coworkers be like, did you see that video? And you'd be like, oh, damn, now I got to go open my Facebook. Ain't been on there for 3 months. So,
and that's how it always happens.
One thing I do want to mention with the petty thing, I was thinking about petty fails. Have you ever seen a petty gone wrong, where you're just like, they were trying to be petty and it backfired?
Well, the Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell, 1000%.
Right.
I'm trying to think who else. Oh,
well, I need a moment. That one that stands out for me is a particular woman was boarding a plane, and she had a jacket that said, I don't really care, do you? Now that was like, wasn't there like a disaster area or something? She's on her way to the border or something like that.
Yeah.
Melania. So it happens. It's a petty fail.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That, you know what? This is like Inception. That was so good that it turned around, that it's so bad, but it's so good.
Exactly.
Kudos to you, girl.
Thank you.
That's, I might have to give you a crown today.
Oh gosh. I have a headband. My hair is so gray. Oh my God.
Do you dye your hair?
I do, but I haven't because I haven't been to a hair salon in over a year.
Speaking of which, no, you know what? I'm not going to get into a mask debate. I'm not going to do it.
Just do it. We can
So,
we got a few minutes.
So, okay. So the Target by me now has a sign is if you're vaccinated, no mask needed, you know, but they don't ask you. And it was, I had to tell you, it was a little jarring to walk in and you're like, so that's your whole face, huh? Just out there in public for everybody to see, that's your whole face? You know,
Right.
and I got my strawberry acai refresher and I left. And then got in the car and I was like, oh, his whole face just out there. And then my girlfriend today at work, she goes, oh man, I went to Target last night. Employees, everybody, maskless. And I was like, wow, just everybody's face just out there staring, just out there, just naked faces everywhere.
How long before you're like that?
I have no predetermined amount of time.
Right.
I'm fine outside in the fresh air with the winds caressing my mustache hair. Absolutely no mask. But I'm just not sure if I'm ready for a naked face in an establishment. I don't know. I don't have a time yet. I don't know where I stand. But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. Yep.
I have another question for you. Do you recall on Wendy Williams when she was on the radio, this iconic interview of things that you and it came out with a whole bunch of memes since then. Now, is this a petty fail, a petty win? Who won? Who gets the crown? You don't know me. You ain't never met me. You never been to my house. Watch what you say, baby girl. Just watch what you say. So who wins? It was the iconic classic.
I think it's a tie.
It's a tie, right?
Because Wendy wins because it was on her show, Classic Interview.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitney,
she shut the fuck up.
Right. But did she shut the fuck up because she didn't want the smoke, or did she shut the fuck up because of radio?
Because it's the radio. She shuts the fuck up because this bitch is talking. You
right.
Let this bitch
exactly. Talk. So in a way, she wins.
She wins.
But Whitney won too because it shed light on who her character was. Like, you can't just walk over her. You're like, oh, she Jersey.
Oh, I love she across the street from the project.
She's not from Newark. She's from Newark. So that was a tie.
The thing with Whitney Houston is that she has walked away from some iconic interviews that have left me with jargon today. Like, first of all, receipts.
Right.
That belongs to the queen herself. Show me the receipts. Forever.
They say that. People still say that.
It's now colloquial jargon. That's it.
Hey, nobody ever heard that before. Show me the receipts.
Show me the receipts.
Oh my gosh, Whitney.
And now you look left and you're like, show me the receipts. I'm like, well, I have a screenshot I could send you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then crack is whack. Well, first of all, we heard that before.
Yeah, but but see, that's not in our vernacular, because like if you're still doing crack in 2021 when there's good old meth available, there's a problem. If you're still doing crack when you could just pop a pill,
you got a problem. Oh, what about the other this is not a petty king, but these snippets of interviews. So when the Chappelle Show by Dave Chappelle, back when it was on television show on the Comedy Central network, he had snippets with Rick James. And the thing about what makes somebody so talented is when you see something and instead of trying to interrupt, you give it wings. You let it
Yes.
grow and go.
Right.
And there are two people that came out of that show that I feel like are part of like our age bracket that are just a part of our everyday life. So it's Fuck Your Couch Bitch, from these snippets with Rick James. I'm Rick James bitch. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. And then Charlie
My
Murphy.
favorite. That's my
Oh, love it. And Charlie Murphy talking about all these moments that he had at Prince's house. Like Prince, like it's shirts versus blouses, and then he made you guys pancakes.
And then the
Like, I just-
basketball on high heels. Like, what are you doing?
And he's just like, he made high heels, like he could ball. Like of all people, Prince, he's like shirts versus blouses.
It's crazy.
And the way he told the story, I mean, I could only pray to be ever so like articulate and eloquent and be able to like string a thought together. Like there's stuff in my head that I think is hilarious, but to string it together and be able to like articulate that to someone else to get the exact like visceral emotions. Like I felt I was there, the way he described things, like, and then he just made pancakes and they were delicious. You're like, oh my Lord.
And then, cause you know, like pancakes can be delicious. Pancakes are one of those things. It's like they're either too dry or they're perfect.
Yep.
Somebody make you some silver dollar, just enough butter,
Marina.
some bacon on the side. Oh my
Marina.
God. Ugh.
That's Marina.
Crazy.
My mom with the pancakes and eggs. She loved making pancakes. And then so let's go back
Talk
to
about petty with your mother with the pancakes and eggs. Tell that story. The first time I went there to Tortola.
So it was three of us, you,
Right.
me, and then another friend. And this friend we'll call,
She was your friend.
okay, this friend we're going to call Star. Because
Spider. We call her Spider.
Spider. So Spider.
Inside
So my mom has a way of letting you know that she's not feeling you without having to tell you that she's not feeling you. So she was feeling you. Everything you could do no wrong. You were amazing. You went to college, you have a job, you're so amazing, you got direction. You're exactly what she needs. This other one has no idea what she's doing in life. She's not going to go to college, barely finished high school. It was like
She might cut hair, she might not.
Who knows? So
did she work in a salon?
She did work she worked at Supercuts.
Okay, right.
So my mom the next morning, only to you, talking to you, goes, oh, would you like me to make you some breakfast? And my mom's very much like, listen, this is your house, get your shit, I'm not your mother. But the next morning,
prefaced us with that. The whole lowdown on your mother.
But that's who she is.
Right. No, but I'm saying, so preparation, like I wasn't planning for nothing. Like I was just like, I just had a place to rest my head at night and then get the fuck out the way.
And that's it. But because said person Spider was with us, she had to make a point that bitch, you ain't gonna be this girl's friend no more. She had to make a point that this girl disliked her so much that she wouldn't be my friend. So she looks to you and only you and says, oh, do you want me to make you some breakfast? Would you like eggs or pancakes? And you go, yes. And she goes, eggs and pancakes? And you go, yes. Turns around, starts making you eggs and pancakes, and doesn't ask this bitch if she wants anything, not even water. She would like at least spit on the girl so she could like have some water. Nothing.
But she made enough for her. It's not like
she didn't just give you a plate.
She just didn't have a choice. She's like, if you want any of this, have at it, but it ain't for you. And but the reason why she was acting, it wasn't just because the girl had no didn't seem like she had direction. I think she messed up from the initial jump when we got to the airport, and your mother felt like, why did you pack your money in your suitcase?
She had this big suitcase and didn't pack the whole thing, and she had cash in it.
She checked her
and she checked it in, and that was the big no, especially for me. Don't have me waiting for your ass while this fucking luggage comes. Yeah.
And then she asked your mother for like paperwork to file a report. It's like,
and my mom gave her a suitcase, and she still wanted to have her suitcase. like that you got that shit at Kmart and it was like $15. Don't even worry about it. But whatever. I digress.
But because of that, it's like,
It went downhill.
yeah.
Everything she could do
So
no
she
right.
was petty on 100 towards her the entire time. And I was like on cloud 9.
And I have to say, Marina was the petty queen.
She was doing, it's not that your mom was like overly great towards me. It's like I shined because she was overly like an asshole towards her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I have so many little moments of Marina being petty that it's like she's the petty queen. Maybe that's why I appreciate a petty queen. But like we need to talk about Nene Leakes.
She's a
petty queen.
And she's a petty housewives, definitely.
Oh,
you know, in a way, but she's also annoying.
Yeah, she's also a bully.
Like her interviews were great. The shade, the pettiness, but she's just annoying. She took it too far.
Like Bethany Frankel.
Petty.
Very petty. Good at these quips and interviews.
The last thing she did to show her pettiness, she announced her engagement when the show announced the day they were coming back or something like that. Like she's not on the show anymore. You had to announce it that day.
Yep, apparently. Yep.
That's the level of pettiness.
Oh man.
Anyway.
I have a cousin who announced that she was pregnant at another cousin's baby shower. I had a relative baptize their child the weekend of my wedding.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was just glad I could be part of the festivities.
But Nene Leakes, back to Nene Leakes. She has come out, we've come out with some things, some good vernacular from her.
Yep. Exactly.
All right. I want to transition to
Marissa's musings.
So. Okay.
Oh, I gotta change my background too. My bad.
I appreciate a petty queen. Nothing is as wonderful as a quick-witted individual whom knows how to retort anything and anyone. But just because we can doesn't mean we should. Yes, I said what I said in the words of the other petty queen herself, Nene Leakes. So with that, I choose to say, choose your words wisely and with kindness. Have an open heart. Take a deep breath and think before you talk. Is it useful? Is it kind? Is it necessary? And go on your weekend with that. Homie, where can they catch us?
The Yep Yeah Yes podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Stitcher, YouTube, everywhere. Everywhere you listen to a podcast, you can get it. If you want to watch the show, you can watch us on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's been downloading when we're not on.
Get them numbers.
Before we sign off, I just want to say it's been a crazy week, but rest in peace to my cousin Adrian, and rest in peace to Jonas. Life is short, so just kind of, if there's somebody in your life that you've been meaning to make amends with, or you need to remind them that you love them and you care about them, there's no time like the present. Rest in peace, y'all.
That's it. Homie, I love you.
Love you. Mean it.
Bye.
Bye.